the Lauf's machine was a little more than a wooden bench on wheels. Its sturdy frame took the bulk of your weight, but you could still only travel at running speed. It was nearly half a century before that was bettered by this, the Bone Shaker. In 1870, this was the cutting edge of bicycle design. It's made of wrought iron and wood, but critically has pedals. The bonus is more speed, but now stopping's the issue. So I'm pleased they added at least some rudimentary brakes. But it was still far removed from the modern bicycle. Although the Bone Shaker is so much better than what came before it, essentially it's still pretty hopeless. I mean, it's really heavy, and I'm not putting that on. It weighs a ton. It's slow, it's cumbersome, it's difficult to manoeuvre. It looks beautiful, but it's not really the thing you want. What you want is this. The kind of bike people were riding just 18 years after the Bone Shaker was invented. I've got one. It's light, stiff and strong. It's essentially a modern bike, but its basic design dates back to the 1880s. And the reason it is light, stiff and strong is because of the steel tubing and the pneumatic tyres. And what made those possible is not so much an innovation in engineering or design, it's the emergence of new materials. In the mid-1800s, Henry Bessemer discovered how to turn iron into high-strength steel on a massive scale. That transformed industry and launched a new era of tools and machinery. Unlike iron, steel could easily be made into tubes, though at first they had welded seams and weren't very strong. Then, in 1886, a way to make tubes without a seam was invented, and so the bicycle had its frame. It also had its chain. In 1880, industrial steel was used to make a revolutionary roller chain, which also made gears possible. But the best was yet to come, the bicycle tyre. John Dunlop invented his pneumatic tyre in 1888 to give his son's tricycle a comfier ride than its traditional solid wheels did. He took rubber made rigid by the process of vulcanization with sulfur, and he used it in a brilliant way to create a semi-rigid air-filled tyre. It was an ingenious idea that's been used on pretty much every bike made since, and almost anything else with wheels. What's amazing is how those simple materials innovations utterly transformed the bicycle. To show just what a revolution in design the 1880s bicycle was compared to its predecessor, the Bone Shaker, I've brought them both here to Herne Hill Velodrome for a rather unusual race. These racing cyclists are going to help me out by comparing the Bone Shaker to its successor. Wow. Club racer Nigel is going to ride the Bone Shaker in a head-to-head pursuit against me. I'll be on the post-1880s bicycle. So we've got a super fit athlete on a Bone Shaker and me on a bike designed just a few years later, but featuring pneumatic tyres and tubular steel, not to mention the roller chain. We're starting on opposite sides of the track and we'll try and catch each other up.
Are you ready, Nigel? Tony?
Ready.
Go, Nige! Come on!
Come on, guys! He's getting up big speed now.
Getting stability.
Yeah, it might be a touch more than a minute, guys.
Here he comes.